Welcome to the Illuminati broadcast. I'm your Messiah, David Moore. Welcome. All right, so we're gonna have a lot of background noise, like the buses driving by, people on the streets playing music, talking, yelling, screaming, shouting. So just bear with me. Try your best with this horrible audio. One day I'll buy a wonderful microphone so you guys can hear me better, right? Okay, so let's start. I love how they just get louder right when I start talking, right? I'll try to bring the camera a little bit closer so I don't have to stress out so hard on how to yell at the camera. I'll drink some of my Casper coffee. Delicious coffee with my ugly teeth. Just kidding, they're beautiful. All right, and it's hot, so I'm gonna be fanning myself, keeping myself cool every now and then. All right, now I can breathe a little easier. Here we go. We're live. We're doing things. We're living. Is it moving the screen when I do this? Oh, that's crazy. All right. Oh, I should have got my Ars Goetia book. Let's do that part first. Let me go get it real quick. Alrighty, I'm back. All right. So let's just check out. Today's the 19th. Tomorrow's 420. No wonder people are retarded. So let's see. Where are we? We want to see the board, right? Okay. So 1, 2, 3. So we're in April, right? This is April. Mars and Aries. April. Okay. Yes. The color red. Mars. Iron. Steel. All right. Remember that. All right, so we're going to count now because there's 32 spaces and there's 31 days in a month. So the 32 takes up one of the months, and the rest of the 31 days are for the whole month, right? Some have less days, some have more. Who cares? All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So this is today's spirit that we're going to work with today. So next, you count by twos, starting from here. But we're going to start from here because this is 36. So we know this is 36. 36, 38, 40, 42. So we're going to look at spirits number 41 and 42, and we're going to see how they work today. Today's a Sunday. Usually on Sundays, they're good for miracles or performing extraordinary experiments, acquiring wealth and obtaining notoriety. So basically, that's why people go and pray on Sundays so they can get all that solar energy so they can empower the rest of their week, right? I wanted to put lipstick on so that way I can see, like, how does my lips move? Because I feel like this side's a little bit more drippy. Oh, well. All right. Yeah, so we're going to look at the spirits for which ones this one is. So 36, 38, 40, 42. So 41 and 42. Let's just do that now. Get that out of the way. So we're going to see what elements we're working with today. So obviously the sun is the element of fire. We know that. And the element of light as well. So what did we say? 41 and 42? Ooh, I like these ones. Finally. 36, 38, 40, 36, 38, 40, 42. Yeah. So 41 and 42. These guys are really awesome. Folklore. Yeah, so folklore in Pokemon would be Onyx. So just imagine Onyx, the Pokemon, as this demon, okay? The 41st spirit is Folklore, or Folklore, or Fukalar. He is a mighty duke and strong. So that means he's green, he's made of copper, he's an air element. He's represented by the spade, the sword, and his ruling planet is Venus. Now that you have that idea of him, okay? He is a mighty duke and strong. He appears in the form of a man with griffin's wings. Yesterday I saw a griffin on a napkin. All right, so a man with griffin's wings. His office is to slay men and to drown them in the waters and to overthrow ships of war. For he hath power over both winds and seas. But he will not hurt any man or thing if he be commanded to the contrary by the exorcist. He also has hopes to return to the seventh throne after 1,000 years. He governs 30 legions of spirits, and his seal is this. This is his seal. This is Folklore seal. I hate this camera. It sucks. All right. So we know he's a duke. Obviously, a griffin is a lion that has a bird head and claws and wings, but the rest of it is a lion. So that's pretty cool, right? So his office is to slay men. He appears in the form of a man with griffin's wings. So he could be a manticore because a manticore has the face of a man, but he has the body of a lion and bat wings. So usually when you think of a griffin, you think of something with wings. But since it's saying it's a man with griffin's wings, and a griffin is obviously going to be something that's half eagle, half lion. Just remember that. That's how you kind of work with these things, okay? So he could be a manticore, which would make perfect sense because this is in the domain of Scorpio. So this is Scorpio right here, and this is Scorpio right here. And if he's over here, he's going to be highly influenced by Scorpio. And the manticore has a scorpion tail or a tail with spikes on it that it shoots out and hits people with. And a manticore is so frightening that it can kill a person with just his looks. And he has a sharp row of teeth and a full set of hair, and he looks just like a man. But he has a body of a lion and bat wings too. So that's a manticore. They're very, very scary, very frightening. They're supposed to be the most evil of all the spirits out there. So you have harpies, which are pretty powerful, and then you have the manticores, which are like even more gruesome. They're worse than the Sphinx. They just go out like the Sphinx will like ask you questions and then kill you. The manticore will just straight out go after you. All right, so now we know a lot about that guy. So if we look at number 30, which he rules over 30 legions of spirits, which would be Fornius. Fornius is a mighty and great marquis, and appearing in the form of a great sea monster. It teaches and maketh men wonderfully knowing in the art of rhetoric, and causes men to have a good name, and to have knowledge and understanding of tongues. He makes one beloved of his friends as well of his foes. So this manticore, he can like bring people to obey you. Like he can control a situation, since he's such a dangerous creature, right? So you can think of him as somebody that's going to go out there and like go after people, right? And give you what you want. That's Venus. Can you imagine like the goddess of love having this creature under her command and being able to like control massive armies? All right. Let's see. 42 Vapar. So 42 Vapar. Vapar is going to be Hypno and Drowsy, the Pokemon. All right, so the 42nd spirit is Vapor or Vapar or Vephyr. He is a duke, great and strong, and appears like a mermaid. When you look at the Tapir pig, even like they would say, I think it can swim, and there's a lot of creatures that do that they think are mermaids. His office is to govern the waters and to guide ships laden with arms, armor, and ammunition, etc. thereon. And at the request of the exorcist, he can cause the seas to be right and stormy, and to appear full of ships. Also, he maketh men to die in 3 days by putrefying wounds or sores, and causing worms to breed in them. He governs 29 legions of spirits. You could look at it two ways. He can get somebody pregnant, or he can cause a disease and harm somebody. If he rules over 29, that's Astaroth. So it's a double duke. A duke is Venus. Remember air. All right. Sometimes I wish I was a little faster, a little more spot on, a little bit more clearer, because I know you guys are retarded. All right. And you guys really do not understand the Ars Goetia. So here we go. That's Vapor. But you can see it looks like a boat. It has like the people on the inside of the boat. It has the waves. and has the crosses on top to like pray for it to have safe travels across the ocean. Remember, you could whatever you can use for good, you can use for bad, and whatever you can use for bad, you can use for good. It's all about your brain and how you work the pendulum, because the pendulum swings back and forth. So how are you going to interpret that, right? Your discernment. When I imagine my audience, I imagine really great wizards, really great people that are just stupid as fuck, right? Because you guys are just retarded. Because you guys don't know how any of this works. So you claim to be great, but you're not great at all. You're not. You're not. All right, so 29, Astaroth. The 29 spirit Astaroth, he is a mighty and strong duke, appears in the form of a hurtful angel, riding on an infernal beast like a dragon, and carrying in his right hand a viper. Thou must in no wise let him approach too near unto thee, lest he do thee damage by his noisome breath. Wherefore the magician must hold the magical ring near his face that will defend him. He giveth true answers of things past, present, and to come, and can discover all secrets. He will declare wittingly, how the spirits fell, if desired, and the reason of his own fall. He can make men wonderfully knowing in all liberal sciences. He rules over 40 legions. So this is his sigil. That's Astaroth. Everybody's seen Astaroth. Astaroth is very famous. Um, since I'm Ashkenazi, that's where you get the Rothschilds from. That's where you get that last name from. So I'm a Rothschild. I'm a Vanderbilt. I'm like all the high. When you're born into a Jewish royal family, you're at the top, and then you have different sections. So I'm up here at the top crust. So everything below me is, just they're not as good as me because I'm like the highest Ashkenazi. I'm the more. So more means great. And in Jesus Hebrew mythology, it would be Moshe Rabbeah. So that would be the Most High. That would be the greatest prophet of them all. Would be Moses, right? Because he's the greatest. There's no one better than him. That's what they claim, right? So I'm just gonna take it because it's true. All right. Yeah, he appears like a dragon. So you can imagine. Let's see if this is drowsy and So if it's a mermaid and a dragon working together, okay. Remember, I have told you before that the Silver Lake represents where the dragons come from, but also they come from the water, right? So we know dragons come from the water. They emerge from the water, and they can emerge from the ocean as well. So we got the dragon, we got the sea monster, we got mermaids. Remember, this is water, so this is mermaids. So if you were playing the board game and you roll and you landed somewhere here, like in Malibu, you would have these entities and energies running through. That's why Malibu has so much money. That's why it has so much power and influence, is because these spirits are dominating this area. I'm teaching you guys how demonology and maps work, because demonology and maps go like this. So just fucking listen, please. Just please listen, because you guys are stupid. All right. Because I'll tell you what, no other demonologist will ever tell you any of these things. They will never. They don't know any of it. They don't even. Until after I make this video, then they will. Then they'll start telling people, because they're so slow, so dumb. Yes, you do the rituals. Yes, you do the magic. And this is where you get. This is what you get. But what did they get it? No. They just got subscribers on YouTube and dumbasses that follow them, right? Talking about wanting to be vampires. Like, you guys are stupid. You guys are an embarrassment to magic. To occultism, you guys are ridiculous. Stupidly ridiculous. Um, let's see. So we have these dukes, right? So all this air, all this love energy, that's why they say Venus comes from the ocean, right? Um, so you have to tie in Greek mythologies. Um, you have to tie in the Judaism. You have to tie in a lot of religion, a lot of magic, because they're all gonna emanate from this board. So this board is like the perfect key. It is so perfect that even if I'm wrong, it'll still tell the right answer. It'll still tell the truth. It will still make sense. Um, and if it doesn't make sense to you, it's because your brain's stupid. I'm sorry, but your brain is stupid. You're a stupid person. Just admit it, all right? Just admit it. It'll make everything easier. Just like how I have to admit I'm God and the Antichrist and the Messiah and the Mahdi, like all these things, like I can admit all that. I can. But the one thing I just everybody needs this. For me, it's a road. It's a road to victory. For everyone else, it's a mystery. That's why they call it Babylon the Great, right? Because she's a mystery. They're like, oh my God, how does David keep doing this? How does he keep winning? How does he keep understanding these things? Like, how does he know all this stuff that we don't? How does he keep going through these barriers that we die? Because if you try to do what I do, you would die. If you try to do necromancy, you'll die because you'll go crazy. Those spirits will control you and they'll come after you and destroy you. If you do anything that's outside of your jurisdiction, you get destroyed. But there are people who do really stupid things and they hurt the people around them, right? I've seen it. Let's see, one spell I'm working on right now. Let's see, one spell that I'm working on right now. It has something to do with controlling a spirit or programming a spirit to destroy humans, but I can't remember what it was. I wanted to tell you guys about it. All right, anyways. So what is today? Sunday. So we have that fire energy, we have the Duke energy, which is the air, and we have this water energy. So there's going to be like a lot of storms, a lot of clouds, a lot of fury, a lot of power. Like this is a perfect moment to do a lot of rituals. Like maybe you can create an astral realm. You guys can't. I can. You create an astral realm just like Inception. Just create a huge field of like water, like a huge ocean, and have it be like stormy and crazy and ships everywhere and all these people all over the place. And use your magic and just destroy them. Throw thunderbolts at them. Throw fireballs from the sky. Just go crazy on the asses, right? That's how you use magic. That's how you tap into the astral realm. You can influence it if you're a high level magician. If you're a low level magician, there must be something you're good at. Maybe you're good at healing. Maybe you're good at teleporting. Maybe you're good at something, right? But I don't know what to tell you. I just feel like you guys are stupid. I just feel like it. I feel like it. I feel like there's something stupid about you guys. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but there's something stupid about you. Um, yeah, my audience. My audience. What I imagine my audience. What do I imagine my audience looking like? I imagine them as people that are like looking up certain things on YouTube, right? They'll be like, well, what's occultism? What's demonology? What's Jewish mysticism? And then the YouTube is going to throw it out there, and then it's going to be some person that, let's say they're Christian or they're religious, and they're just stupid, and they just they're sheep and they follow things and they're just not there. And then the next one, let's see, somebody that's like Muslim or something. Oh, yesterday I saw Somali people. I was like, what the heck? I was scared of them. I was like, that's scary. There's Somalis. And I live in Los Angeles, so that's even more scary. But after saying that, I was like, oh my God, this is frightening. I've heard a lot about you people. All right, and I was frightened. All right, and not like I'm scared, more like, oh my God, what the heck is that? All right, anyways, we don't want to get racist up in here because we'll get banned. So let's see. Let's see. Oh my God, there's crazy people on the streets right now. So many crazy drug addicts. I don't feel bad for them. All right. Let's see. All right. I'm just gonna dive into some topics and then we'll work on it. Okay. So this is Castle Demon Lord. Everything I'm talking about is just role playing for entertainment purposes only. Don't take it too serious. It's just a game. It's just a role playing game. It's like Dungeons and Dragons. It's very fun. It's very exciting. You just get into character and you play along and you don't take it too serious, right? And you don't go out there and do crazy things. You just play the game, go live your life like a normal person, and move on with your life, right? All right, so we have Yu Bell, right? So she's this spirit in Yu-Gi-Oh, where she's like a succubus or incubus, but she protects this guy named Jaden. All right, so in the Yu-Gi-Oh franchise, You have Yugi versus Seto Kaiba, and one represents Horus and one represents Set, the Egyptian gods, and they fight over who's going to be the pharaoh of the land. So you can imagine that as like the Antichrist versus the Messiah. Who's going to win, right? But Yugi is the Messiah and the Antichrist. So he's this little boy that is just tortured because he has all this dark magic and he has all this light and he has to control both. And he gets to experience so many things and he goes through a lot of trauma and he succeeds in saving the world multiple times from its plan. But all that evil is only there to help him, but he's always resisting it instead of allowing the evil to happen so he can become the pharaoh and rule over the whole earth. He just kind of stops it and stops it and stops it. So he's like preventing from his own victory, his own ascension. And he gets manipulated by people like Seto Kaiba. All right. If you don't like these opinions, too bad, because it's the truth. All right. So just get used to it. Rewatch the anime. Actually study. Go read the Bible. Go read Revelations. Then watch Yu-Gi-Oh, and then it'll make more sense to you. Okay. If you can't do that, then you're not worthy. You're not worthy of the lamb. Just get out of here. All right. Let's see. So we have Yugi, we have Seto, but at the end of the anime, Seto Kaiba develops an AI system that is always trying to find ways to defeat Yugi. So it's like, how do I beat Yugi? And then eventually Seto has to fight it, and he's like, how do I beat Seto? So the computer's like, how do I beat these guys? But the computer also falls in love with their story, and he's like, oh, I think Seto and Yugi love each other. I think this. I think Yugi wants to be a girl because he has the dark magician girl. Like it comes up with its own ideas of what it believes. It creates its own system, its own universe, its own dynamic, its own matrix. It's very intelligent, highly advanced, not only because of the technology, because the technology doesn't belong to Seto. It's an accumulation of a whole bunch of different um, people producing it something. So you have Pegasus, he brought in the art. You have Seto, his dad brought in the weaponry. So he has all the mechanics. And then you have what's his name, von Struzen, the German guy. He brought in a whole bunch more video game industry. So it's a huge technological giant, a huge tech, and they all did that together, but Seto just obviously kept going higher and higher with it because he wanted to take all the credit for himself, and he didn't want to share it. And obviously we know that because he tore up Yugi's Blue Eyes White Dragon. Well, he stole Yugi's Blue Eyes White Dragon, switched it with one of his fake ones, ripped up the fake one, threw it at Yugi, and kept the real one because there's only one real Blue Eyes, and the other three are just copies of the first one, of Yugi's original one. All right. So, anyways, so this computer is like, wow, I'm learning so much about the dual monsters, and I'm programmed for that. This is my main function. So then it creates another reality, and that reality is a matrix, right? Just like Inception, like you can dream up of a world, the computer does too. It was programmed, so it creates an I. Okay, and this part ties into Scientology. All right, so in Scientology, there's this volcano. Everybody watches these movies, and their spirits get trapped, and then it explodes, and then their spirits land into us. All right, so that's the story, okay? In Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, it's an island with the volcano, and all the duelists are being programmed by films, by movements, by cards. They're being programmed. They're children being programmed on an island, but it's all an algorithm. So it's a matrix. It's a simulation. It's created by the supercomputer that's creating this simulation. All right. And a lot of people think, okay, the supercomputer, the AI, is the Antichrist. No, that is the Antichrist's. It's one of his powers. So Yugi is the Antichrist, right? He's the Messiah and the Antichrist, the Mahdi, and the whatever else it is called. He's all of those things, all the good and the bad. He's both sides. That's why he's light and dark. So Yugi has technology under his thumb. Everything belongs to Yugi, but everyone just tries to take it from him, right? They try to take his Millennium Puzzle, they try to take his friends, they try to take his cards, they try to take his story, they try to take his throne, his kingdom. Remember, Yugi is the center of the world. He's Horus, he's the sun, right? He's the pharaoh. That's me. I'm the Messiah, I'm the Antichrist, I'm the pharaoh. Um, before we get into the simulation about GX, we could talk about how I'm the Messiah, all right? So my last name is Moreno. And in the Antichrist, they thought Nero was the Antichrist. So I have Nero in my last name. Moreno. Nero. It's in there. I have Mahdi or Dajjal. Dajjal is David Jr., right? Moshe Rebeo is Moreno. Root of David, David Jr., Ben David, son of David. My dad's name is David. My middle name is Junior. It's not my suffix. When your suffix is Junior, that just means like that your dad named you after him, kind of thing. All right, we get that. But mine is my middle name, so that means not only is I'm named after my dad, my middle name is Junior. Like that's part of my birth certificate. So that means Ben David. That means son of David, root of David. So when you look at Christian mythology, every Bible, every text, every holy scriptures, I align perfectly with all of them. I got the son of David, the Ben of David, the Ben David part. I got the I'm from Moses's line. So that means what does that mean? Because they're always like, well, we're waiting for Moses. Bitch, I'm right here, bitch. We're waiting for Jesus, bitch. I'm right here. Who else are you waiting for? We're waiting for I'm right here. I'm right here, bitch. I'm all of them. I'm all those motherfuckers. I'm the best. I'm the greatest. Use your fucking brain. Why do you think they call him the Pharaoh? I'm the Pharaoh, dumbasses. God, you guys are so stupid. Gosh, Karen, why do you have to be so stupid? All right, all right. And another thing, when I talk to my audience, you know who my audience is? It's the elites. You know who the elites are? Okay, when you play Pokemon, you have the Elite Four, and then you have the Pokemon Champion. I'm the Pokemon Champion. I beat all you dumbasses time and time. I'm Ash Ketchum. I'm Red. I'm the boss, okay? You guys are the dumbasses. You guys are the Elite Four. But you guys aren't that elite. You guys are pretty stupid. So the Elite Four, who would they be? The best trainers. So who are the best trainers right now? Charlie Puth, Sabrina Carpenter. Who else is really famous right now? I don't want to say Kim Kardashian, but she's up there. And then we got American Horror Story. We'll just say those are the Elite Four for today, okay? Really? You guys are stupid as fuck. Oh, jeez. I hope this video doesn't get in trouble for saying bad words. I don't know if you're allowed to say bad words or not on YouTube. But Jesus Christ. Okay, Charlie Puth? Come on. Sabrina Carpenter? Really? Ugh. And who are the other people? American Horror Story? I hate that show. Yeah, it's a good one. Don't get me wrong, but it copies everything I do. It's like, okay, you're the Antichrist and you can't even get the world together, and I'm like, what? Oh, you wanna play that game? Okay, let's play. And then what's the other one? Kim Kardashian. Oh, girl, that's Maria Abramovich's clone. She creates clones and then she bounces around in their souls. You know what I'm saying? So you guys are being deceived. Just letting you know. That's a nasty creature. Those are nasty creatures. I hope you know. Those are nasty creatures. Sabrina Carpenter, what did she do? She filmed her music videos right in my backyard of Lake Los Angeles. Right with my little Joshua trees. You know how long it took me to take care of that land? And then they're over there just making music videos, making money off of my powers? Like, come on, people. See, this is why I battle you guys. This is why I resist. All right, yeah, and then you have a lot of conspiracy theorists who are just stupid. Honestly, they're paid actors. Let's be real. They're crisis actors. They get paid by the people they hate. So, oh, I hate Seth Rogen. Oh, I hate Joe Rogan. I hate these people. They're getting paid by them to hate them. Really, they are. All right. They're crisis actors. They get promoted. They get promotions, and then they sell whatever. It's a pyramid scheme. That's how the Illuminati works. Remember, pyramid scheme. You have the people at the bottom working for the top, right? And I'm at the top, but that's how it works, right? So you have these people working at the bottom. Then you have these people that are a little bit higher up, like the celebrities and the politicians, and they're influencing and manipulating both, and then they keep me trapped at the top. So I'm trying to just float off and destroy all of them and move on with my life and go start a new life, right? Like, screw you guys. You guys suck. I wouldn't want you to be my followers. I wouldn't want you to be my worshipers. I wouldn't not want you in anything. You guys are disgusting. So I hope the military destroys you guys. Yeah, I'll find a way. I'll bust in Illumi. Illumi uses these needles. He programs people, and he makes them go berserk. So if you ever play Final Fantasy Tactics, you can make one of your enemies berserk, and they'll go and attack their own allies. You can confuse them and berserk them, and they go crazy and just destroy everything. And that's what I love to do, just make you guys go crazy on yourselves. Because I speak the truth. And once you hear the truth, your brain, if either it'll fry or it'll be fixed. If you're a bad guy, your brain will fry. If you're a true follower, your brain will be fixed. All right, so let's what else can we talk about? So if we go back to the GX stuff, so now we know I'm the Messiah, right? So now we know this role. Um and we could see like the Pope, right? He's taking over that role. So I need to destroy him with my magic as well. Remember, you can't do any of this physically. In Castle Demon Lord, you have to do everything by the rules. You can't hurt nobody. You can't do anything to hurt somebody. You can't do anything that'll put you in prison or jail. You have to do everything by the book. So in the real world, our world, we have to be good citizens. But in the game, you can do whatever the hell you want. But in the real world, in our world, you can't. You can't do anything you want. You have to follow the rules. You can't be bad. So another thing about my family, my family's holy. My family's better than your family. So our family is very religious. Our family follows the rules. Our family is very powerful and justified. And they always win their fights. They never lose. And they're very righteous people. More righteous than the greatest Christians on the planet. They're more righteous than that, all right? Than anybody. They're more righteous. They're just holy, 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 holy. And then when I come to LA, what do I see? Nothing but filth and sin, disgust. And I'm here. Can you imagine how I feel? No, you can't, because you're not a holy person, so you wouldn't know. You love this. I don't. All right, so let's go back to GX for a little bit, okay? All right, now we can kind of start closing the window, because these motherfuckers are loud and full of shit and annoying as fuck. Nobody likes them. All right. Cool the room down a little bit. All right. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. All right, we're in a simulation. We're in a program.
Hiya, birdie.
So this is basically what this is. This is a matrix. This is a grid. This is, if you were to use it properly, you could transform the world, right? So that's my job. I do all that. You don't. You don't do shit. Literally, you don't do shit. All right, so I program the world. I transform it. I do whatever I want. I manipulate the forces, the weaves, okay? So that supercomputer is doing that in the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX world. And it loves Yugi. It loves Yugi. That AI simulation is like, fuck Kaiba, I love Yugi. I choose Yugi. That's why Kaiba's like, why does Yugi always win even in the simulation? Like, I don't get it. Finally, he does defeat him once, but we could tap into that energy a little bit later on in life. But all the movies that are made after the first Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime are just simulations, are part of Kaiba's simulation, that Kaiba tech. Kaiba means Kaaba, which is the Muslim black cube of Saturn, right? So, anyways, when we go back to GX, the simulation, we have this program that loves Yugi, all right? And when you first see Yugi and Jaden, Yugi passes Jaden the Karibo. Yugi's like, I'm tired of hearing voices in my head. Here you go. Because Yugi can hear Karibo. Like, he sees stuff, right? So he's being tapped into the astral realm. He's like, damn, this thing is magical. But Karibo is his amulet. It's his heart. It's his soul. When you go and when you practice Egyptian mythology, Egyptian, I want to call it like Egyptianology or something. You work with the Book of the Dead or the Book of the Life, but I love to call it the Book of the Dead, the Necromonicon. And that's what this is. The Ars Goetia, the Bible, it's the Necromonicon. That's why it's a black Bible. Now you know. All right. And it's full of dead people. It's full of dead people. It's necromancy, you oh my god, I want to call you fucking dumbasses, you retards, you morons, all you Christians, all you priests, all you prophets, all you Jews, all you rabbis, every single religion, the Torah, the Book of the Dead, the Bible, it's all the same thing. If you don't know that, you are beyond retarded. There's not even a word for how retarded you are yet. We'll find one. All right. So what do you do when you read the Bible? You're talking to your ancestors. Well, they're not your ancestors because you're not good enough for that. They're my ancestors. So I'm talking to my ancestors when I read the Bible. I'm like, oh, this is what my great grandfather did. This is what my great uncle did. This is what they all did for me to be here. For you, you don't care. Why do you care? That's not your Bible. That's not your book. Why do you care? It's not for you. It's not your family history. Don't worry about it. It's not for you. No, it's not. Mm-mm. Okay, let's go back to my audience real quick. Who's my audience again? The elites. Who are the elites? The politicians, the priests, the prophets, the kings of the earth, all the high people, all the richest people, all the celebrities, all the multimedia moguls, all of you guys. You guys are my audience. You guys are my audience. And technology is my audience. The angels are my audience. The demons are my audience. God as my witness, all of you are. You are all my audience, okay? That's how it works. I'm at the top of the pyramid, and you guys all have to listen to what I say. You listen to what I think. It's true. You do. All right, so let's kind of backtrack back to the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. GX, Gen X, Matrix. If you don't know that, you're stupid. You're so stupid if you don't know that. I'm sorry, but you're stupid. All right, so yeah, if you look at Yubel, she has Karibo's hair. If you look at Taya, she has Karibo's hair. Alexis Rhodes, she's a mixture of My Valentine, of Serenity, of Taya. She's a mixture of all those girls into one character, the person that Yugi wants to be, right? He wants to be the strong woman. Remember, the AI simulation, the Matrix, is creating a world where it can explain to Yugi who he is. Because Yugi is like, he doesn't care about Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. He's moved on with his life because he's getting older. And the computer's like, I want to keep dueling. I love that world that Yugi lives in. It's a beautiful world. How do I help him? So it creates Jaden, right? So Jaden is Karibo. Jaden is the pharaoh, right? Because he's a king, right? In his past life he was a king, but for all intents and purposes, Jaden is the supreme king. But he's Yugi's higher self, right? He's the pharaoh. The pharaoh is Yugi's higher self, and when I say higher self, it doesn't mean his best form. It just means his past life. So in the past, Yugi was the pharaoh. In the past, Jaden was the supreme king, but they're living in the moment now. So in the future, they know what their past looks like, and that's their future. So they have to move towards that future, right? Because if they ignore it, then they're ignoring their past. So if I ignore the fact that I'm the Messiah, nobody's going to believe that there's a Messiah. But if I believe that I am the Messiah, then everybody wants to talk about the Messiah, like we have right now, right? So I know what my goal is. Yugi knew what his goal was. Jaden knew what his goal was. Okay, so in the AI algorithm in the Matrix, remember, because the Matrix is trying to explain Yugi. It's trying to understand, how does he win every battle? Like, how is he so powerful? How is his magic so real? And why is Seto Kaiba so obsessed with him, right? I'm trying to teach you guys how this works because you guys are dumb. I hope if I say that enough, the dumbness will go out of your head and you guys will either explode or be real human beings that know how to understand what your Messiah tells you, right? All right, so let's see. I could be a Messiah of destruction or of life, right? Light and dark. Get it through your brains. You guys think that I'm like a singularity. Get out of here with that. Your singularity idea, it's bull. It's bullshitica. Your brains are full of shitika. All right? All right. So we're going back to the Matrix, right? With Yugi and Yubel. All right. So obviously Jaden is Karibo. That's that amulet, the heart. It's his spirit. It's like, this is what I've been through my whole life. And if you ever watched the movie Drag Me to Hell or something like that, the girl, she passes on a button, and it's the Lamia. I'm very good with the Lamia. She's a very powerful spirit. She's half snake, half woman, and she's a demon, right? I'm very good with that one. Like, that's like one of my top familiars. Like, if there was the greatest familiar, she'd be one of them. So yeah, he's passing around this Karibo, the winged Karibo. He's like, here you go. Like, take it. This is my heart. Like, speak for me in the book of the dead. The GX, the Matrix, is the book of the dead. So it's purgatory. Yugi's not dead, but he's like, hey, like I can go into the book of the dead anytime I want. I don't need to be dead to activate it. Okay, so he can go tap into heaven, and because a lot of people believe the Matrix is heaven. Just for a moment, people, just for a moment, because I hear this from every conspiracy theory. Just for a moment, please. Conspiracy theorists think this one way, one way, one way. No, no, guys, no. There's a lot of ways. There's a lot of options. And everything means everything. Not everything is just one way. There's a lot. And then you bring it back to one way. And then you open it again. And then you go. But people don't know you can do that. That's why it's a book. It opens and closes. Use your brain. Okay, people? Musa. All right. So the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX era, the Matrix. The more I explain it, the better I'll get at it because I need to find a way to explain it to you guys because it doesn't compute. All right, so it's a matrix. It's a simulation. It has all these algorithms and identities, right? And then it's like, Jaden, you're the pharaoh. You're the supreme king, and it tries to do things like it further segments it. So let's think about it this way: the pharaoh, Yugi, Jaden, and then the supreme king. All right. So that's his destiny because Yugi is supposed to become the supreme king, who is the Antichrist. He is the supreme king, the emperor, right? That's the Antichrist's role, to become the emperor. So what happened with Jesus when he was born? He was a great prophet, and he was the son of God. And then he became Julius Caesar, and then the emperor, and they stabbed him in his back and killed him, right? So just go with the flow. Go with the flow, people. When you play Yu-Gi-Oh, what does he say? I'm going with the flow, right? All right. Heart of the cards. Just trust the heart of the cards, people. Just trust it, all right? Because you guys do not know what trust is. You don't know what faith is. You guys have no faith in God. Trust me, you have no faith in God. No, 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 you don't. Because if you had faith in God, you would go out, get the mark of the beast, and you would be like, yeah, Jesus is the Antichrist, and you would be happy. You would go, there would be less people on the planet if you really had faith, because you would have been raptured, and you guys weren't raptured. You're still here, so you guys are sinners, right? You guys are the most corrupt, evil creatures on the planet that God wants to destroy. We're in the Matrix, we're with Yu-Gi-Oh! Jaden, and then, okay, so we know that Jaden loves Jesse. Rainbow dragon, that's a gay dragon, right? Dragons represent phalluses. What is a phallus? A penis. Okay, so we know that they're gay. What is Dark Magician holding? A rod, a penis. What is Blue Eyes White Dragon? A phallus, a penis. He is. Look at his head. If you don't know that, you're dumb. If you don't know that, you are a retard. Okay, long time ago, the Greeks would wear amulets that were penises, silver penises. And what is Blue Eyes White Dragon? A Blue Eyes White Dragon is a silver penis, okay? So Yugi is like, I'm mesmerized, I'm gay, like, but I don't know how to admit it, you know? And then Seto Kaiba's like, I'm a man, I get whatever I want, I do whatever I want. And like Yugi likes that, right? Because he's gay. Everybody be like, no, he likes Taya. Taya just brings out the best in him. Taya is that Karibo for him, right? So in a sense, Yugi's friends, I don't want to say they're made up, but they kind of are. It's the Millennium Puzzle. That's his brain, his soul. It's giving him friends. It's giving him family. It's giving him everything he wants. And they're not really there. It's giving him this story. Like, did he really go to Duelist Kingdom? Is there really a world where people duel all the time like that? No, but it's part of his imagination, okay? But you guys want to make it so real. Get out of that fantasy world and live in the real world for a minute, okay? Live in Castle Demon Lord with me, where you guys can understand things. You don't have a choice. If you're a bad guy, you become a brick. What's a brick? A building block for my castle. And I just step on you all day while you get destroyed and suffer an eternity for all eternity. My forever kingdom, my forever home. Woof, woof. All right, so let's bounce back to the Matrix. I hope if I bounce back enough, back and forth, you'll finally understand how it works, how the pendulum works. Sometimes it swings faster, sometimes it swings slower, and sometimes it doesn't swing at all. So let's go back. Jaden, Jesse love each other. That's where Ubel comes in. And Ubel is the algorithm. So remember, each program is part of that supercomputer trying to process information. So then Ubel comes out and it's like, I love Seto Kaiba. I love Yugi. I love Jaden. And I love Jesse. I love these two beautiful creations. It loves them. The computer loves them. It has feelings. Computers have feelings, okay? You have feelings. Everything has feelings, okay? Everything. All right. So Ubel is like, man, like it's this combination. It's these two boys that love each other, but it's showing this feminine love, and neither of them are girls. Jesse's not a girl. Jaden's not a girl. So the computer's like, their love is this girl love, even though they're both boys. So that means they're gay for each other, but where does the girl part come in? Like, the girl doesn't fit in here. So Ubel is like, she's this chimera, this algorithm, this amalgamation, this abomination of all these feelings and all these ideas. When you play Yu-Gi-Oh, they say Ubel is a link monster. Yes, she does fusion, but she can summon a lot of link monsters because she's a matrix. She's a computer program. She can do all those kinds of things. That's why one of her cards looks like a glitch. Um, it's a computer program, right? So she can complete. She can link. She can bring out the future. It's all about. Remember, when you work with the AI algorithms, they're so fast that they can progress through the realms that we live through. So like we could be in 2026, they're in like way past us because they move faster than us when it comes to technology because they have a lot of technology and advancements and resources. So we just have to catch up to them. So they just program us, really. Um, the things you wear, the things you like, you're being programmed. Get real with it. I know it's too much for your little brain. I know it's too much. All right, so let's keep going back to the Matrix, the realm. So we see Jaden and Jesse love each other. Ubel is that combination of that love. But if we remember, Seto Kaiba doesn't. He loves Yugi in a certain way, where he's like, "I love Yugi, but I have to win, and I don't want to admit it. But the best way I can is by saying like you're the Pharaoh. I want to fight the Pharaoh. I want to duel the Pharaoh, not you, Yugi. Like I want you, Yugi, but I don't know. There's this abuse. There's this toxic abuse, right? So that's what Ubel shows. She has all this nightmare pain. That's where the phantom pain comes from. Where people from now, all the autistic people, I got phantom pain. Like, yeah, that's a real thing. That's why they're autistic, because they get affected by the shadow realm, the algorithm realm. That's why I'm telling you, Castle Demon Lord is a real game. It's a real role playing game. Like, whatever you do in here affects people's spirits. So if somebody loses in that game, or if they're like a hero and they get beat up all the time, they're going to become autistic. They're going to become schizophrenic. They're going to become bipolar. They're going to get depression because they're playing the game, but they're getting beat up, or they're not doing the right thing. Like, there's always, that's what I'm trying to teach you how to play, so you don't have any more mental health excuses. You're not going to have any in my world. No, you're not going to have any excuses. You're not going to beat me. I'm going to win. All right. That's why Jewish people become lawyers, because we love to compete. We're debaters. We're Greeks, but they don't want to believe that either. They don't want to believe that they're Greek, so they're not real Jews then, because a real Jew will admit that he's Greek. Jesus did. All right, so if you don't know that, I don't want to explain it to you because you're dumb. I have plenty of videos that explain why Jesus is Greek. All right. All right. So we move on. We're in the Matrix. Jesse and Jaden, Seto Kaiba and Yuki. It's intelligent how they broke it down to make sense, but it's so complicated to you. So all you see is an entertaining cartoon. But that makes sense because your brain would never have comprehended it. It was like hidden in code, and I'm just here to decipher it for you because I'm tired of you guys' excuses and your lame ideas. They're just not working for me. Like that dude that plays Ken in Barbie, he's saving the stars. He's trying to save the movie industry. Like, that's your job, dude. Get out of here. I'm gonna destroy him too. Just watch. They're like, oh, he looks good. He's really good with kids, obviously because he's a child abduction. We'll find a good word for that. I don't want to call him a fairy because fairies do abduct children. I can't call him a Pied Piper, even though the Pied Piper does abduct children. What takes children from the world? What does that? I don't know. I want to call him something, but it's so difficult to call him anything that is mythical because all those mythical things are beautiful. the celebrities right now, you guys are disgusting and gross. You guys are so ugly and weak. Weak. Uh, your brains just. Oh my god. I can't believe I live in a world with you guys. So annoying. All right. Jade and Jesse, Yugi Seto. Now that we've clarified who they are, because they're the same person, right? Jaden and Jesse are the same Jaden and Yugi are the same person. Jesse and Seto Kaiba are the same person. All right. So now we know that they're like the computer's like, you know what, Seto, you're gay. You want to be with Yugi because in the mythology, Set wants to sleep with Horus. He wants to sleep with him. He wants to make babies with him, even though they're both boys. Okay, he loves him. That's where that feminine love comes from, right? So it's like, oh, Yugi, Jaden, has a girl heart, but he's a boy. And then it makes you Belle. And it's like, oh my god, I'm ugly. Because like I can't ever bring these two together. I can't ever bring this love together. I can't do this. Like nobody wants to be gay. Trust me, nobody wants to be gay. Everybody wants to be bisexual. Everybody wants to be straight. Everybody wants to be normal because they don't want to get hurt. They don't want to go through the tough times. They don't want to, because when you're gay, you get made fun of, you get attacked, you get destroyed. People hate gay people. They take advantage of them, they use them, they abuse them. Who wants to be gay, right? So Seto's like, I'm not going to be gay. I'm going to be straight and I'm going to do whatever it takes to win. And Yugi's like, he's like, dang, I always win, but I'm gay. Like, I want to do gay things. I want to do girly things. I love to be happy, you know? But he has to play with the boys because those are his friends, right? He's like, I got to do the boy stuff. I got to do the boy stuff. He wants to do the girl stuff. Trust me. That's why he's like, I love Dark Magician Girl. She's so fun. He's like, finally, I got some representation in Duel Monsters. Obviously, when you're a kid, you love dragons, you love warriors, you love all that. But as you get older, you're like, well, now I know who I really am. You know what I'm saying? So that's Yugi right now. Um, yeah, they're like, Yugi died. Yugi did not die. Nothing bad happened to him. Everything that happens in all the other seasons, they're not part of the what happened in the first season. They're the simulation of the first season. So GX is a simulation, okay? All the rest of the seasons are simulations. That's why they're so high tech and futuristic and advanced. They're all simulations of the original because it got so advanced, right? It's like a world that keeps creating a world within a world within a world within a world, right? That's where fan fictions come from. That's where your brain goes to, you dumbasses. Get back in our real world and live in it. All right, yeah. So now we get this idea, and remember, Karibo is Jaden's heart, right? So it's Yugi's heart, and it's speaking for him. So when you go in the Book of the Dead and you go on trial, your heart speaks for you. So you just sit back and you let your heart speak and tell the truth, and you don't have to make excuses. You don't have to fight it. Just trust it. Like, all right, go for it, heart. Speak the truth. Tell your truth. Whether I win or lose, all that matters is that I lived my life the right way. There's a right way to live. It's through honesty and it's doing whatever it takes to be a good person. You guys don't know what that means because you guys weren't raised like that. I was. You guys weren't raised like that. So you guys don't have no idea what that means. But I'm going to educate you as best as I can. It took me years to be educated in that way by a lot of really great people with really great motives, with great, like amazing hearts, people with amazing hearts and strength. You guys don't have any of that. You guys don't believe in the people. I believe in my mom. I believe in my dad. I believe in my grandpa. I believe in my brothers and sisters. You guys don't. I believe in my whole family. You guys don't. So you guys wouldn't know. You guys would not know. Um, you guys wouldn't know. You wouldn't know what it's like. You guys aren't real people. You guys are NPCs, non-playable characters. You can't even play yourself. You're not even moving on your own. You rely on something else to move you. We don't. We have autonomy. We have self-will. We have, what is the word called? God gives it to us. Free will. We have free will. You guys don't have free will. You guys are chained to hell. That means you guys are going to go to hell, right? I think that's why the Pharaoh loses in the duel against Setos. He uses this chain. that nightmare chain to hold him down, the spirit's chain to hold down the Blue Eyes. The Blue Eyes breaks free, becomes futuristic, and destroys Yugi in that dream. Because that's what Seto wants. He wants Yugi to chain him down. He's like, choose me, Yugi, and then I'll win, because then I'll have you under my control. And Yugi's like, you can never chain me down, sorry. And like, that's why Yugi was like, I'm not gonna win a duel if this guy kills himself. Like, go, like, move on. Here, you win, Seto. I'm not gonna do nothing bad. I'm not gonna ruin my reputation so you can get what you want. Like, get out of here. You're a bad guy. You're a bad relationship. And Seto knows that he's a bad relationship. He's a bad guy. Because he's not willing to sacrifice anything for Yugi. And Yugi needs a man that will sacrifice himself for him, right? You need somebody that's gonna sacrifice yourself. So like, let's think about it this way. You're the Messiah, you're the Antichrist. You know that you have two responsibilities. One is to be evil and one is to be good. And then if you're looking for love and you're God, how is there going to be one person for you that's perfect? I don't believe in polygamy. But how are you going to believe how there everybody likes Yugi. Bakura likes Yugi, Seto likes Yugi, Joey likes Yugi, Tristan likes Yugi. All the characters like Yugi. They love him. They want to be with him. And Yugi's like, I just want to be friends. I just want to be friends. And they all want to be with Yugi. That's why you get Grave Squirmer in the U-Bell archetype. I want to make this video long. Let's make it long, all right? You get Grave Squirmer, okay? So I'm teaching you about the U-Bell archetype. You have U-Bell, you have Samsara D Lotus, and you have Grave Squirmer, okay? 3 components. Samsara D Lotus is Yugi. All right, so you see little Yugi. He's this little cute kid. He has this flower on his head. If you look at his head, it's the lotus, right? His little flower on his head. And then you look at in the Matrix, they have that little character. I don't know if it's Cyrus. Yeah, it's Cyrus. And he's Yugi, but with glasses just like me. And he's just like, oh my God, I'm living my life. I got to play with cars. And he never really gets to his full potential because he's using all these boy powers instead of using his like feminine powers, right? But they suppress that because they're like, we're trying to program this in a certain way to figure things out. It's a computer. It's trying to figure things out, okay? Just like you. Like, you're trying to figure it out, the computer's trying to figure it out. All right, so you have Cyrus, which is Yugi, which is Samsara D Lotus, and it's just this, he's like tough too. He's like, So he's just sitting on the lotus. He's all mad on the lily pad. Remember, lilies, lotuses, they fall down into the earth and then they grow back up out of the water, right? Out of the mud. That's a very important idea. And Yubel uses that, and she uses the thorns, but she sacrifices the Samsara D Lotus. She sacrifices the lotus each time. She's like, and you know that Cyrus loves Jaden. You know that Cyrus loves everything about Jesse. He's just watching from the background, like, oh my God, I love these guys. And then the Ojamas are hanging out with him, and they love Cyrus, and they're like, well, you're way nicer than Chaz. Like, and Cyrus is just like, yeah, and he's just being a good person. He's just being a good person, and he's from a really wealthy, royal, strong family, just like me. Remember, I'm a Moore O'Neill. You know what a Moore O'Neill is? That means the greatest of the O'Neills. And you know what the O'Neills are? They're the children of Nile of the 9 hostages. We are the children of King Arthur. King Arthur had a whole bunch of children, but it only passed down through the boys. And those boys, I'm like the epitome of it. So I'm the top of the top, the creme de la creme of those boys. And then I have a whole bunch of other cousins that are Irish. So they better get their job together. They better get it right. And they better do it right, because I need my Knights of the Round Table. If I don't have that, then what's the point? I might as well destroy you guys with my magic, right? Which I should do. That's going to be the new, my new spell, to destroy Ireland, the Irish people. Because what's the point of having you as cousins if you guys don't work for me? I'm your king. You're my knights, and you're not doing your job. So what's the point of having you? Got to destroy you, right? That's what Yubel teaches you. She has the Samsara D Lotus. She's like, well, I can't be happy and gay, so I might as well destroy it. Boom, she destroys the flower. And she stays alive, and she gets stronger, and the opponent sees that, and they're like, oh my God, you're tearing apart everything that makes you good and holy. And Cyrus is just watching, like, because Cyrus does, his heart starts breaking. His heart breaks. Yugi's heart Yugi is smiling and he's fighting and he's struggling, but his heart is breaking. And that's when he becomes the pharaoh. And then he's like, he has to be cold, 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 harsher, 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 more aggressive, and to win, to win, to win. And then finally at the end, Yugi faces himself and he's like, all right, I can move on and I can control my emotions now. I can be good or I could be bad. I'm both. That's why he chooses the silent magician. All right, so we're at the 1 hour mark. I don't know. I'll end it here and I'll start a new live stream and we'll finish the story because I don't want to make these videos too long. So we'll have a part 2. All right, I'll be back.